Y'all, what I'm about to show you right now, you genuinely cannot make up. I'm about to show you some highlights from the fallout of Jasmine Crockett in the light of the assassination of Charlie Kirk and how her incredible intelligence is coming through. Again, not only in calling for more gun control and assault weapons when there's literally no sign of an assault weapon anywhere in this entire thing, but also on the back end of saying just because you commit a crime, you're not a criminal. Guys, the blending and observation that you need to have when you are taking what's happening in the world with the conservative movement, the Democrats, the liberals, you take the gun control push, because that's what they've been hitting us on forever over in my world, and you blend these things together, you see an overall ineptitude that is staggering. And I'm going to have it all linked for you right now. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on if you are ready to save this country from itself and from people of the ilk of what I'm about to show you. You can follow me at Braden LOA on X. Let's get it. We're going to dive right in. I do not like to bury the leads. Okay, listen. If you're one of the new people, we had a lot of new people join the audience, and welcome to the party. What I try to do on this channel is I try to take the gun control pushes, defend them from a gun rights presentation and position, and then tie it to the politic broad. By blending these two things together, you see some very concerning tendencies and trends that the left does against all of our rights, but they hit us in the gun world first because they see us as low-hanging fruit. And then they bring it to the broad-based population. And that's why we are connecting these dots, all right? As we get into this, let's hit the first one. This is a CNN clip from Jasmine Crockett. This is a representative from Texas, and thank God her seat is no longer a thing, and she won't be here for much longer in the political realm of the congresswoman. However, I want to show you what she says around assault weapons, even though the actual weapon that Charlie Kirk was assassinated with by a leftist was a bolt-action Mauser from 1898. But don't let facts get in the way. Let's let Jasmine go, and then I'll show you why criminals aren't criminals when they commit crime. Yeah, it's a quote. It's coming.
Do you think the political violence problem on the right is worse than what it is on the left?
I think it's a false comparison in the first place, and I think we should have a leader that is responsible enough to denounce political violence, period. It's not about where it comes from. It's about the fact that it is happening. It is never okay. It is never okay if it happens on the left. It is never okay if it happens on the right. And if we had someone that knew how to be an adult in the room, he would say that. But when we look at it, please tell me who is fostering this gun culture, right? I mean, the reality is that the average person on the left probably couldn't make a shot from 200 yards because they haven't been playing with assault rifles since they were a little kid. Like, that is just the reality of how people on the left typically work. And
that's just the reality, guys. It's so simple. That's the reality. Democrats and liberals couldn't make a 200-yard shot, which is the easiest shot on the planet. My 10-year-old could make that shot. But no. We can't talk about any blaming, anything of that nature, but those conservatives who have their children playing with assault weapons since they're children, they're the ones that would be able to make this shot, not the left who never touches them because they're high and holy. An assault weapon, as they call them, first of all, the term doesn't exist, and two, it's not even applicable. I showed you what Gun Owners of America just posted. That's the Mauser right there. It's a bolt action from 1898. Has nothing to do with assault weapon. They are only throwing out constant rhetoric about how it's your fault. Anyone on the conservative side, because after all, you guys have been playing with assault weapons since you were children, and it's just part of the gun culture. There's more. Hold on. We're getting to the criminal part. I'm excited about that one.
if we believe that political violence is a problem in this country, if we believe that our children on campuses, just because they want to go out and have a day of free speech on campus, may be subjected to this kind of violence, then maybe we need to start talking about legislation that will keep these types of weapons out of certain people's hands. Now, whether or not this gentleman would have qualified under any type of laws that many of the Democrats have proposed, I don't know.
Okay, guys, like, if you're new to the gun world, this is not new to us. Okay, they'll tell you that we need to have more common sense gun control reforms and gun control legislative packages that the Democrats put forward all the time. Now, granted, in the same breath, granted, all of those things that we just mentioned wouldn't apply in this case, but we still need them. They do the same thing to you guys in the general broad population across the board. tying these things together and seeing what they do to us in the gun world, in the gun rights world, and the population broad is really important to do. Because now I'm going to show you what they'll do in general. Same woman. This is today. This is after the Kirk assassination. Listen to what she said about criminals. Because remember, criminals, just because you commit crime, as she's about to say, does not make you a criminal. This is the exact same impetus for when they say it's not the criminals using guns, it's only the guns. You see how these things are blending? Watch. Minute clip.
Understanding what ends up having people become criminally impacted really informs so much of what I do legislatively, right? So when people are like, oh, crime is terrible. And yes, it is, right? Like, because when somebody goes out and commits a crime, they don't typically, say, well, I'm a D or I'm an R, I'm an I. It's not like literally like, it's about, well, how do you fix it? How do you make communities safer? And I do think that I'm in a unique situation because I was having the conversations with people that were going out and committing crimes. And so I understood what was kind of pushing them there. And so I do want people to know that just because someone has committed a crime, it doesn't make them a criminal.
So thoughtful, so poignant. Oh, that's like a great point, that duality. Good God. Okay, listen, come here. Here's the thing. They do the exact same thing in the gun world when they're doing gun pushes. So in this scenario, Jasmine Crockett is saying, well, just because you commit a crime doesn't make you a criminal. That's broad-based. But then on the other side of that, the criminals who murder people and use guns in a negative way, that's not on the individual. That's on the availability of guns in the United States. You have to see these things as exactly what they are. They are parallel to each other. They do the exact same things against all your rights, but because we are so fine-tuned and so segmented in defense of our individual items, we don't see those things that are threaded together. When you look at the first clip that I just showed you, well, granted, we need more gun control because Democrats couldn't even make a 200-yard shot because we don't play with assault weapons from the very moment that we're born. But even if we did do those Democratic ideas that were gun control proposals, it wouldn't have applied in this case, but we still need them. 2 minutes later, all of a sudden it's, well, just because you commit a crime doesn't mean you're a criminal, which implies and reinforces the idea that it's the availability of guns, not the individual. Do you see how these things are all spliced together? Guys, the second that we start understanding that this is not against an individual segmented part of the population, it's not against pro-life, it's not against 2A, it's not against immigration, it's not against free speech, it is literally all of it. This is an underlying ethos of which they apply to each individual one of their fights. They cannot stand in unison. They only have conversations on one individual point because they all conflict. You're seeing it in real time. And I hope I landed this plane because it's important. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.